There we go. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you to Kiera and her tribe for allowing us to share our information and our platform. I thank everybody for showing up on time today. We really, really appreciate it. We have a lot to get to today, a lot of information we're going to give. What I'm actually doing today, what I've actually added to this webinar is I'm actually going to talk a little bit about building your business credit using your EIN and not using your EIN. And usually when I do this presentation, it's for my paid seminars, but I'm actually going to be doing it for free today. And I have one of our lenders going to be on the call today. Brother Hiram is with us today. So after I do my boring presentation, but it's very, very useful, everybody, he's going to talk to you guys about the different ways that you can get funding in the trucking industry. Whether you have good credit, bad credit, whether you have low revenue or high revenue, our job is to try to find you the best ways to get funding, whether you're a dispatcher, freight broker, owner, operator. That's our goal, to help everybody out. So I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to start the webinar. We have over 200 people already here live. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to have an application for you guys to fill out. Hey, Herman, I didn't understand this question. I'm not sure about this. I think I am eligible for this. Just we're gonna give you that information at the end of the presentation, and then our team is gonna reach out directly to you to help you get funded and fund your dreams. All right. So building business credit, especially in times like this, everybody, money is hard to come across, right? It's a recession, allegedly, and a lot of clients are like, hey, Herman, I don't have savings. I don't want to use my personal credit. I wasn't paying attention to you the past 2-3 years. How do I get business credit? So I'm gonna walk everybody on how to build the foundational steps for building business credit. Whether you're gonna get funding from me or not, this is how I want you to build your business credit. So let's get down to the good stuff, everybody. All right.
All right.
Brother Hiram, you have anything to say before we start?
No, I'm just glad to be here. No, thanks for the opportunity.
All right.
Just glad to be here.
Great. Thank you so much for coming. All right, guys. So let's get to it. Why is business credit important? Now, this is the obvious reason. Business credit is important because you don't want excuse me one second. There you go. You don't want, one second, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that call. Of course, the FaceTime call came through. You don't want a lot of debt in your personal name, right? You want it in your business name, right? Because you can leverage more credit, more cash, more capital in your business name than in your personal name. So that's another good reason why I always tell everybody, hey, put everything in your business name. And you can also get more capital when funds are in your business name also. So if you're getting a $5, $10, $15,000 personal credit card, the limits and the cards you can get can total much higher funds in your business name. And we're gonna get to how we're gonna do that, the steps to building it. Now remember, the beginning part of this is not sexy, all right? The end of it is really sexy, but building business credit is not sexy. And let's go into that right now, what the steps are. All right, first of all, why does this keep going out? First of all, banks like to see that you are a credible business, right? They're gonna check credibility. They're gonna check your name, your address, your email, make sure you're a legitimate company. And even though you're a small company, right? You wanna look legitimate. You wanna look like a Wells Fargo. You wanna look like a Walmart, so that when you go to the banks and try to get funding, it's going to be cakewalk, all right? And there's 20 credibility points that banks are eligible to check, and we're going to go through a lot of them today to make sure that you're eligible to get funding, all right? Because my job is to set your business up properly so you can get as much funding as possible. Now, number one, this is obvious, all right? You need to have a business name. Well, Herman, why are you putting this if this is super obvious? Because your business name can sometimes dictate how much money you can get. For example, everyone knows the name of my company is Bellastone Enterprises. I named it after my daughter. I do 3 things: credit repair, business credit, and I invest in real estate. Now, did you know that everything that my company does is something that's called a restricted industry, right? It's high liability. So banks don't like to lend to credit repair companies or business credit companies or even lend for real estate, right? So when I go and I apply for funds, and we're going to talk about how I do that strategically, I can get less money if I tell them what business I'm in, and I'm going to tell you what I do. So that's why I keep my name super, super general, right? And at the end of this presentation, we're going to get your contact information. We got everybody's email. I'm going to send you out a list of those restricted industries that you do not want to have in your name when you're setting up your name. Herman, I already set up my name, and my name is on one of those restricted industries. Don't worry about it. You can change your business name, business address, business phone number as you choose. Like Google, a lot of people don't know this right now, but Google, they're not called Google anymore. They're called Alphabet. And Google is a subsidiary of Alphabet. They changed their name, and you could do that too, just in case your name doesn't match up. Next up, you want to make sure it's sharp and on point. You want to make sure you have a legitimate business address. So it's got to be brick and mortar. It's got to be a deliverable physical address. Should not be your home address or PO box, or definitely not a UPS address. Those are red flags. Now, we're in the solution-based business, so I'm going to give you a solution about this. Herman, I work from home. Herman, I can't afford a brick and mortar building. Herman, we're quarantined. What are you talking about? Well, the banks like to see brick and mortar buildings. They want to see that you have a real office space. That's where they like to start, right? Fine, no problem. Secondly, they want that at the top of the list. The second option you have is using something called a virtual address, and we're going to get that into a second. And third, they know that the world is changing and a lot of businesses are changing right now. So a lot of people are starting their businesses at home. So it's not as much of a deal breaker as it used to be, but primarily you want to have a brick and home. Number two is a virtual office, and number three is using your home address, right? Now, a lot of us can't get brick and mortar home spaces and rent out the space. So I have a solution here. One of the solutions you can use is something called a virtual address. Now, if everybody's familiar with WeWork and things like that, it's kind of that same process, but you're just renting the address. So that when somebody Googles you, when these banks go and Google you, they're going to see that it's going to be a real business address. They're going to look it up on Google. They're going to look at your business credit report, and when they pull it up, they're going to see it's a legitimate business. It looks like a real commercial space. Your mail can go there. All your business documentation can go there. It could look super legitimate. I have one and a referral code right here at the bottom. Will Opus, virtual offices. What's great about this space is actually they give you a phone number, fax, and a secretary that actually picks up the phone. So if you're interested in that, you just copy that link, and you can go right to that website and see what they can do for you. So you need to have a legitimate business address. Next up, you need to have a legitimate business phone number. Now, I know everybody started their business with their cell phone, but it's never a good idea to use your cell phone, personal phone number when you're starting a business, and it could be flagged as high risk because the lenders can tell what are commercial phone numbers. Now, whatever I present in this presentation is things that I actually use. So I'm going to give you two recommendations: freedomvoice.com and culture.com. Freedomvoice.com is a United States-based company. It's $9.99 a month, and they give you a 1-800 number. Now you have a legitimate number. You're totally legitimate, right? Or you can use culture.com, and that's $9.95 a month, and they give you a 1-800 number too, and they give you the option of making like a vanity number, so 1-800 Bella Sloan, if you choose to do that. Now, culture.com is a Canadian company, and it's a flat $9.95 fee, so there are no taxes associated with that. All right. Next up, now that you got your business address, business phone number, next up, you want to have a legitimate website. This is all about looking presentable to the banks, that you are a legitimate company, not somebody who's working out their basement, not somebody who's working out their bedroom. You could be running your dispatch company out your living room, but the banks don't need to know that. It's all about looking legitimate. All right. So you want to have a legitimate website built out for you. I have a referral for somebody there if you want to sign up with her, or you can go to GoDaddy.com and get your own website built, or you can go to Wix.com. Now, GoDaddy has a good program where it's called Web Builder. It's what I started with. I know everybody like, I can't build a website. That's too complicated. They can't make it any easier for you. You literally get their Web Builder program. I want to say it's like $150. And literally, guys, just copy and paste. What font do you want? What pictures do you want? You paste it there, and it's just a landing page. It doesn't need to be super professional. Just presentable is key. All right. So when I first started, it was the name of my company. It was a professional building there, and it had my address and email for people who wanted to get contact with me for my services. Next up, you want to have a professional email. Now, this is super crucial because a lot of people skip over it. Now, GoDaddy actually helps you with this. If you buy a website from them, the domain name, they'll actually offer you an email address also. So I got my website originally from GoDaddy, built out my website. Of course, I got professionals out to do my website, so it upgraded. But I also had the opportunity of getting a real email address. So it's info@Bellastone Enterprises, or Herman at Bellastone Enterprises, or my other staff. It's their name and the domain name. It's not Bella Sloan Enterprises at Gmail or at Hotmail. All right. So you, again, this is a credibility factor to look legitimate to these companies. Now you have several options. You can go to GoDaddy.com and also G Suite. That's Google. Google has gotten into enterprise business space. So you could actually run an email from them for $6 a month. So that's a great option if you don't feel like building out a website. Let me just get an email. No problem. Google got you covered. Next up, all about looking legitimate to get you as much business funding as possible. You got to be able to be found. How can you be a business and nobody knows that you're a business or can find you or can look you up? All right. Boom, business listings. Now you're going to go to listyourself.net, listyourself.net, copy and paste it, putting in your web browser. Now you want to put yourself and your demographic information. You got your email, you got your address, you got your phone number, you got all that legitimate demographic stuff. Now you're going to put that in business listings, So listyourself.net. You're going to put yourself in the national database. They're going to give you two options. They're going to either say that you want to be put in the local database or national. You want to be put in the national database so that you're able to be found. And in like a week or two, they're going to call you. They're going to send you an email to verify that you have been uploaded. And literally you can dial 411 and you can see that you have actually been uploaded into the system. So you want to be findable. Put yourself in googlebusiness.com or even Bing. Just put yourself on the internet so you can be searched. Now we're getting closer to looking like a legitimate business. We have all that information. Now, I know you guys noticed that I just put up LLC and EIN. People run and get this done first. Let me get my LLC and EIN. They make up a name, they put their home address, personal phone number, and email. This is why we did it in these steps, in these orders, because when you get to the application, you have all your demographic information set up properly so you can get as much funding as possible. Now you're able to fill out your LLC and get your EIN. I have a referral, a contact who could get that done for you expeditiously, a lot cheaper than LegalZoom and all those other companies out there. Or you can go to YouTube University and figure out how to do your LLC and EIN. All right. It's all about getting to the bag as cheap as possible. All right. Next up, now that you have your LLC, your EIN, you're looking more and more like a legitimate company. It's time to walk into a bank and get a bank account. Because you can't walk into a bank account and ask for a business checking account if you're not a real business. So they're going to ask for those following documentation. They're going to ask you for your business name, your business address, your business email. You're looking totally legitimate now. They're going to ask for your driver's license. They're going to ask for your LLC, and they're going to ask for your EIN. Now, many people actually be in the bank and they call me or they email me, hey, Herman, I'm in the bank, and right now they're asking for my social security number. Yeah. They're going to ask for your social security number. Post 9/11, you open up a checking account, they're going to ask for private information like that, especially from small businesses. So make sure you have that information. All right. Now, towards the end, I'm going to tell you how to apply for a bank account. I got some key things I want you to say when you walk into that bank account to make sure that you don't screw yourself. All right. Now, one of the local banks that I use is actually Citizens Bank. If it is in your area, I definitely recommend them. Why, Herman? Because their fees are really, really low. If I deposit 1 penny in that bank account, literally 1 penny, they waive all fees. A lot of business checking account have fees, $20, $30 a month. You got to keep $5,000 in there or $1,500 in there. They're really unrealistic. I'm a small business. I just started. Citizens is one of the good ones. But I always recommend the small local credit unions in your area to open up a business checking account first. Now you are a legitimate business, right? So now let's start building some business credit. All right. I want to focus on Dun & Bradstreet real quick, but there are many different, well, several, not many, different credit bureaus that dictate and give record for your business credit score, right? Equifax is one, Dun & Bradstreet is another, and Experian Business is another. Dun & Bradstreet is one of the oldest and the largest in the world. So you definitely want to get one of your business credit scores from them. I'm going to talk to you and walk through you how to get that, all right? Because their business credit score is super, super important. Now, the place you go to get your business credit score is www.nav.com, nav.com. That's where you're going to go to get your business credit score from. Now, right now, if this is the first time you've taken this call, your credit score is probably, your business credit score is probably a 0. At the end of this call, we're going to show you how to get a business credit score of 80 to 85. That's number one. Your business credit, which is called your paydex score, it goes from 0 to 100. So at the end of this call, you'll have an 80 credit score. And guess what? An 80 credit score is actually great business credit. So we're going to get you to that place. So you have to have the foundational steps for building your business credit, right? Number one foundational step to getting your business credit is getting the Dun & Bradstreet number, as I said. So you're going to go to www.dnb.com. Go to their website. You're going to put in that demographic information that you so skillfully got together, right? You're going to put it in there. Within about 1 to 2 weeks, usually a lot sooner than that, you're going to get a DUNS number. It's basically kind of like your secondary business social security number, your secondary EIN number, because that's the number that's going to be used to get you your business credit score and your business credit number. So it's super important to get that. You don't want to skip over this step. All right, guys, let's start building some business credit. So there's got to be some foundational steps to building business credit. And one of the easiest and best and productive ways to get business credit is something called your vendor accounts. Now, vendor accounts can also be called net 30 accounts. What that means is that you have to pay the account in full within 30 days. I want you to compare vendor accounts to what can I say, secure credit cards in the personal credit world, all right, or adding a trade line to it. You got to put something on your credit to start to boost it up, all right? So these aren't sexy lines of credit. These aren't cash credit cards just yet. No, we're not there yet. We're putting some foundational lines of credit on your business credit report. Think of them as My Jewelers Club or something like that when you're first starting out. And I'm going to give you several of them right now. I'm giving you the Holy Grail. I'm giving you a bunch of them right now. Usually I give out 3 to 5, but I'm giving out a bunch today. All right. So the list goes as Quill, Uline, Granger. These are the fundamentals. Everybody knows these 3. This isn't a secret I'm giving you. You can Google that, right? Then you have Lukoil, Global Voice Direct, Strategic Network Solution, HG Supply, Supply Works, a BP gas credit card, which is great for my truckers that are on the line right now, Sumo Office Supplies, Crown Office Supplies, Shell Fleet, and 7-Eleven fuel card also. So let's go through these just a little bit to break them down so I can show you how to get these lines and get approved for them. Now, this is going to be the foundational information. The foundational lines is going to be placed on your business credit report so that you can, at some point, outside of your personal social security number, get some business funding down the line. But we want to make sure all these fundamentals are put in place. Number 1, Quill, Uline, Granger. I'll group them up together. Each of these places, you're going to Google them. You're going to go to the website, right? And you're going to find a product that's on there. There's nothing sexy on these sites, right? So it's stationary, office supply, batteries, hardware, nothing crazy. Now, one thing I want you guys to remember is at minimum, you need to spend at least $60, $60 to $65 at each of these places. Uline, Quill, and Granger. That's it. Uline, Quill, and Granger. You need to spend at least $60. Why? Because the business credit world is a lot different than the personal credit world. All right. You get a credit card and you buy a stick of gum. It's going on your credit report, right? In the business credit world, when you're starting these foundations, that's not the case. They want you to spend some money before it's worth for them to spend money to report to the business credit profiles. Okay. So Uline, Quill, and Granger, you're going to purchase something for $60. Buy $60 worth of batteries. Buy $60 worth of office supplies, paper, pens. I don't care what you buy. But you're going to call them up after you go on the website and see what you want. Hey, Quill. Hey, Uline. Hey, Granger. This is Herman Dalsey, CEO of Velasone Enterprises. I would like to put in an order for your AA batteries. I need 60 of them, $60 worth of them. Sure, no problem, sir. Product number 7398. Excellent. How would you like to pay today? Well, I would like you to please invoice me. It's kind of like a magic word for them, right? So when you're asking for them to please invoice you, you're asking for business credit from that company. Now, these companies work with startup companies, right? And if you set up your LLC, your EIN, your DUNS number, your address, your phone number, email, if you set up everything, there's a very, very high chance, 90% and above, that they're going to approve you. So they're going to put you on hold. And guess what they're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? They're going to verify that information. They're going to Google you. They're going to look you up. They're going to make sure you're set up like a legitimate business, even though you're running your freight brokerage out of your living room, even though you're running your dispatching out of your bedroom at 3 a.m. trying to get those calls in. All right. You're going to look legitimate to them. They're going to get back on the line and they're going to approve you for a whopping line of $1,000 each. Nothing crazy at all. But remember, after they approve you, they're going to mail everything to your business address, or if you're using your home address, that's fine, right? They're going to send everything there. But the moment they send you guys the bill, all right, the moment they send you the bill via email or in the mail, you're going to crack that thing open and you're going to pay it immediately. Remember, there's a net 30 account. It has to be paid within 30 days or you pretty much ruined everything that you started. All right. So you want to be on point with it. And let's go down to the rest. You have Luke Oil. Luke Oil is a net 22 gas card. So if you have Luke Oil in your area, this is a great gas card to get. All right. When I first started, they gave me an $8,000 card. All right. So it's a great card to start with. Then you have Global Voice Direct. That's another account you guys can shoot your shot and get. This is a phone company. Well, Herman, you already gave me a phone company. Yes, I did give you a phone company, but this one knocks two birds out with one stone. Global Voice Direct actually gives you a business phone number, but they actually also report your account to your business credit report. Now, they're a little bit more expensive. They charge $24 a month. And same type of feature, they ring your cell phone. If somebody calls your business line, you get the text message features, all that stuff. So it's a good option if you like to knock two birds out with one stone, okay? Next up, Strategic Network Solutions. This is a software company. There is nothing on this website that you guys need outside of what I'm recommending. They have something that actually backs up your laptop. It's like $60. It backs up your laptop. So if your laptop drops in the ocean, because you backed up your laptop to Strategic Network Solutions software, they will actually they will actually put everything back on your new laptop. So it actually does benefit you. Next up, HD Supply and Supply Networks. Again, guys, nothing sexy, but we're building our business credit because later on we are going to be thankful for this. HD Supply is a subsidiary of Home Depot. Supply Works is another hardware store. Purchase a couple of things off those websites, pay them off. It'll post to your business credit report. Again, another gas card, BP Business Solutions. There's a great gas card for our truckers out there. I know there's some better ones, but this is a good one too. Summa Office Supplies, Crown Office Supplies. Again, these are office stores. Open up account with them, get the line of credit, pay it off. These are net 30 accounts. All right, great accounts to get. And then the last two are two more fuel cards that you can also apply for. Now, these lines of credit that I just listed, the 10 plus, these have nothing to do with your social security number. You do not need to put your social security number on these applications. They're only going to ask for your EIN and sometimes your DUNS number. So these are one of the starting steps on how to build business credit just using your EIN. Well, Herman, I want to get the corporate credit cards where it's not associated with my line of credit, with my personal at all. Just like Apple and Google do, right? It's not like Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, is putting his social security number on an application to get Apple a line of credit of $100 million so they can produce these iPhones. No, that's not how it works. Well, how do I get there, Herman? Well, number one, you have to do these foundational steps. I'm going to tell you how you get corporate credit not associated with your business, with your personal, right? This is how you do it. And we're going to get there, all right? These are just the starting steps. Number one, you need to have a business credit score of 85 to 90 and above. That's where you need to be. You need to have 15 trade lines reporting to your business credit report. All right. You need to be at least 2 years old. And here's a caveat, guys. You need to be making between $2 and $3 million a year. And I know that stops a lot of people in their tracks. Well, Herman, how am I supposed to get business credit? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to jump into one of them, and Hiram is going to go into some other strategies specifically for truckers, specifically for the 300 plus people that are on this call on how to get some funding. All right. Next up. Before I get into that, there are lines of credit that you can actually get We got Visa, MasterCard, Discover, but also you can actually lease cars in your business name. All right, when you get to that top tier, and that's a great place to be. I've actually done that with several vehicles that I've used to rent out to actually make me money. So I've turned liabilities into assets, and that's just another class. All right. Now, here's one of my programs that I use, and everybody who's followed me on Instagram is very familiar with this, how I get many different companies lines of credit. All right. It's called my 680 business credit program. All right. If you have a 680 credit score and above, that gets you into the room with me. Next question is, well, Herman, how much money can I get? What we do is we multiply your strongest personal credit card by 5, and we get you that amount in business credit. So say, for instance, you had a $5,000 credit card 2 years old, because we like age. We like you to have some type of established credit. That means that person who comes to me most likely can get between 25 and 30,000 in business credit, 0% interest for up to a year. Some clients get longer. If anybody follows me on social media, you've seen that I've posted a $25,000 Amex business credit card where I had 0% interest for 22 months. And I maxed out that card to do a real estate deal. At another time, I'll tell you how I got the cash off of that, but that's a really good skill. Got the cash off of it, put a down payment on the property, and that $20,000 plus cost me $187 a month at 0% interest. So I was using the money really, really cheap. And I know all 300 of you on this call know how to leverage that money in the trucking industry that you are in to make more than $187 a month to make it profitable. All right. Now, the other requirements, no negative items. Your credit usage has to be under 35%. No late payments for at least 24 months. No bankruptcies, no charge-offs, no collections. Collections, there's a little waiver on there. We prefer you don't have collections at all. But if you do, we want to make sure that the balances are 0. But we definitely want to get collections off there, because the better your credit looks, the more money you can get. So do not skimp yourself. Don't be cheap on yourself by not repairing your credit first or getting these little dumb collections off your credit report. You got that T-Mobile for $50, or you got that Comcast for $50 and you didn't pay it off. All right. Now, if you don't meet these requirements, Herman, I'm not that guy. I'm not that gal. I don't think I meet all of these. If you have a co-signer that's willing to be your co-signer for your business, you can actually add them on the application, and they could be the personal guarantor. And remember, business credit does not show up on your personal credit report. So a lot of my clients, at least 25%, do this option. Their wife, their husband, their brother, their sister, their mother, their friend helps them because they got the better credit score and they would like to be of service to them. Now, next up, and that's how you get business credit, just using your EIN. Now, everybody who follows me, shameless plug. Yes, it's a shameless plug. If you want more information on how to build your business credit just using your EIN, definitely go to Amazon and pick up my book. It's a great read. It's an easy read. I break it down even more for you than an hour-long webinar where I'm speeding through PowerPoints, which I will send out to everybody at the end of this presentation, because I know everybody's going to have a million questions and there's too many people to get to those questions. But here's a great book that can really help you out with building your business credit. Now, here's my contact information. If anybody has any questions for me, as you can see, I practice what I preach. I have a 1-800 phone number. I have a regular landline number, so you can call me if you have any questions. My team will be more than helpful, to help everyone out. There's my business email address, info@bellasoneenterprises.com. Check out my website, bellasonellc.com. And anybody that's new to the tribe, anybody that's new to this presentation, they're both of my Instagram handles, Bella_Sloan_Enterprises. It's my business page. And I always put my personal up because I like for people to do research on the person you are doing business with. So at a high level, everybody, that's the way that you can build your business credit using your EIN and using yourself as a personal guarantor. Now, I know everybody that showed up today, you've probably seen this presentation before, or this is brand new information, and that's great. But everybody came to see the man of the hour, my brother Hiram, who wants to talk to you guys about how the different creative strategies to get business funding for their companies. So Hiram, the stage is yours. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much for the opportunity, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Absolutely.
So excited to be here. I'm just thrilled to be with a group of entrepreneurs. And if you're starting up, if you've been in business for years, if you're looking to exit strategy, we got a loan for you, right? So one of the main focuses here is is trucking, right? But Herman, you hit the nail right in the head. Credibility, credibility, credibility. Real estate people say location, location,
Mhm.
location. But the most important thing is credibility, right? When all your things are lined up, just like Herman says, you have a name, you have a business address, you have everything all lined up. When it comes that application comes to me, it's an easy, quick decision because everything matches. Guess what? If you're
Mhm.
operating out of your house, eh, I'm going to Google that house. And if I see an apartment, I'm going to say, well, they're running a hobby. It's not a business. Okay. So we want to make sure that credibility is the biggest focus here. And Herman obviously has the formula to get you guys there. So
Right.
let's dive into loans, right? There's so many creative and alternative lending methods that are out there. For my truckers, I have such a deep passion for the industry. I understand everything from just getting your authority to maybe just getting started with an insurance down payment, maybe just getting that first truck on the road. All right, so I finally got my truck. How am I going to get from California to New York? And it's about $4 grand in fuel. Whatever it is, we have the alternative method and using the power of trade lines and lines of credit to work on for your business. So one of the most important things here that I do want to cover for you is trucking is important, right? It's logistics. If you're considering hot shots to haul a couple of trucks behind you or vehicles behind you, you're considering OTR, regional runs, refrigerated trucks. Maybe you want to get into the whole Amazon phase right now where you can maybe purchase 3 or 5 vehicles and start some logistics services or purchase franchises like Boar's Head or even purchase a Little Debbie or whatever it is. You need a fleet of vehicles. There's a strategy, there's a way to be able to obtain the business funding that you need, even when you're in the startup phase, believe it or not. Now, one of the things that we didn't really cover much on, but that's okay. But lenders are really
Mhm.
looking
Go
at
ahead.
what they call FICO FBSS. Okay. And I'm not sure if many of you have
Mhm.
heard what FICO FBSS is, but if I'm an SBA lender, I'm going to run your internal FICO FBSS in addition to your Paydex, Experian, and your Equifax. It's a fourth model that they use to be able to determine if you're already ranged up to that 140 mark where SBA 7As and 504s can now be eligible to you and your business. So, FICO FBSS is an internal scoring system that they use, and it's a really great source to make sure that when you have your Paydex, your Experian, your Equifax, and everything is solid enough, you have the necessary means on your credit to be able to get yourself some SBA loans. Okay, so for some of you that are out there, maybe you don't have your authority. Maybe you do. Maybe you've been working for a trucking company for years and you're trying to find a way to be able to get on your own. We all know if you're on your own, if you can eliminate the middleman, the more opportunities you have to make more money and put more money in your pocket, right? So we have a few different programs here
Yeah.
for you. One of the programs that I do want to talk to you about is that 680 Club. That's what the neat thing about that 680 Club or that 680 loan program is that it's non-collateralized. And what does that mean? For some of you that are in banking, some of you that understand the terminology, great, congratulations. I'm glad you're on board. But for those of you that don't know what non-collateralized, that means that if you're going to buy a truck and it's 40, 50, 80, $100,000, or you're going to buy a fleet or whatever the case is, when you go to a dealership and you purchase that truck, they're going to put a lien on that, just like if you were to purchase a home, right? When you purchase that UBF program or that line of credit that we can get you financed on, what ends up happening is that that lender is not securing that loan with an asset. And the most important thing here that I want you to understand is hear this clearly, is that in the event that trucking does not go too well, the business does not go too well, maybe dips a little bit for a month or so, the banks are not looking for your asset. They're not looking for that collateral. So it's important
Mm.
to secure
That's
yourself with
great.
non-collateralized loans to be able to have your assets free and clear. Just like real estate, we can do another session, like you said, non-collateralized real estate, right? So the
Mm.
crucial point here is that with these programs, you can go in, basically purchase a fleet or whatever you need to be able to get you on the road and get you going without having first, no impact to your credit to get a pre-approval. And then once we get you pre-approved, the second thing is that we're not going to ask you for any docs. We don't need financials. We don't need bank statements. We don't need your assets. You don't need any of that information. It's as simple as give me your name, get me do a soft pull on you, give me your address. Let's see how credible you are with your business. Or if you just started, no problem. Let's see what we can get you assigned. The greatest thing about it is that if we can get you approved for 50, 60, $100,000, it's all under your business EIN. So now you advance the process of business credit building. If you start with Herman today, and Herman has a game plan for you, in a month you have an 80 or 90 payday score. Now we're able to get you some trade lines with some real capital in your hand that now you can even advance the process and go through the process even faster with what you need as far as being able to get the fleet cards that you need, right? For those of you that do OTR, you know that those fleet cards come in handy. If you need a platinum overhaul, you need a gold overhaul, those things are $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. 4 or 5 days that you're out of commission from trucking, you're sitting on a load and they're waiting for you. Chances are you're not going to get paid. So Herman's going to be able to help you out with the business credit building to be able to get the fleet cards that you need that are not only closed network, that are not Pilot Flying J, right? If there's no Pilot Flying J from here to Mississippi, then what do? You're out of luck, right? So we need to be able to get some really solid Visa cards, some really solid MasterCards, some American Express business cards that are going to be able to really establish the fundamentals and establish that business the right way, allowing you to divorce yourself financially from the business and let the business build corporate credit on its own 2 feet as a separate entity. All right. So the other focus that I want to make, the other thing I want to make focus on is that with the UBF program and how it all works out is that it also allows you to be able to get 5 to 7 times more the amount that you can get on your personal self. Okay.
Nice.
When it comes out to personal business,
one more time for them.
Yeah, right. When it comes out to personal, listen, a business, I don't mean to be rude about it, but you know, when you go in, let's say Barnett or even HD Supply and you buy toilet paper for your house, you only use maybe about 20 rolls in a month, okay? When it comes down to a business, banks understand that you have 100 employees, 20 rolls is gonna go out in 2 hours. And it's the same mentality that banks have when they're loaning you money. You're only gonna need $10,000 for, maybe, $10,000 for your own personal, credit card. But if it's a business credit card, that $10,000 now becomes $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 based on industries, based on revenue, based on business credit, based on credibility, based on you have an 85 business score, perfect. You'd have a Equifax that's a 90, perfect. We can loan them money. That's why it's so important that to go through the fundamental stage, the credibility stage, and building those net 30s and net 60s and all the steps that Herman was talking about, because by the time you get to the other steps, they've seen that, wow, you can handle 40 grand with no problem. So why can't we give you 5 times the amount of $40,000? Now we start getting into the $250,000, the $500,000. You want to buy a brick and mortar location? Great. Let's put you through an SBA 504. Let's put you through this other loan program. It's all about being able to be connected, you're credible, and you're making payments on your business, and your business is walking tall, just like an 800 Beacon would in their personal life, right? So, nice. Herman, any questions before I move on to the next?
No questions. You can go on.
All right, perfect. So now a lot of people may say, well, Hiram, I don't have that 680. I'm working with Herman. I'm not just there yet. I got a trucking business. I'm making, $10,000, $20,000 on a monthly basis, but I haven't been able to be successful in obtaining a loan. Where can you help me? I need to add 3 more vehicles to my fleet, right? So I love this part, right? Because one of the things that I always like to talk about is strategy. If you've been trucking for 20 years, then I wish you talk to me year number 1, because I would have told you that you need to be able to buy a truck every year, add 2 drivers so that they can work every 12-hour shift, and make sure you got a dual mate working with you, doing runs from California to New York, right? And by the time that you would have gone to 20 years, you would have owned the whole Penske company, because now you got about 500 vehicles on your fleet. The goal here is that if we can get you starting with a fleet of vehicles, and we do that incrementally, right? We're not going to go and do that. You're not going to go and borrow 20 vehicles at once. You're not going to be able to lease on 20 vehicles at once. But the most important thing to do is to ensure that you start with 1 truck and start adding from there. If you got some folks that don't even want to get into trucking, don't even want to get their CDL, maybe you have a few guys that can do some runs for you. They have their CDL, they have industry experience and all that. then it's time to invest in your future. It's time to have passive income, a passive stream of income coming in from a trucking business. All right. And you got 10 vehicles on your fleet. Yes, sir.
I got a question for you. I want you to repeat this because I want to make sure this didn't go past everybody's help. With
Yes.
working with our team, right? Somebody's in year one. We're going to help them strategize how to build a fleet from day one.
That's right.
So how to level up, get 1, 2, 3, 4 trucks, how to get the drivers, all within the strategy of getting you the funding. Because once you get the funding, that's the easy part. Now you're going to walk in and start to knock it out. All right.
Yes.
And everybody's here in the tribe. So Kiara shows you how to get contracts. So we're marrying the two to show everybody how to grow. Not just getting money to get 1 truck, guys. We're thinking bigger. We're thinking everybody in here needs to start thinking about, I need to get to X amount. I want to get to 10 trucks in 12 months. That is not impossible. We're thinking big. All right. So I just wanted to stress that information to everybody. We're not thinking small here. This webinar is for big thinkers. And oh no, it could just be more than one. Yes. I don't need just one truck. No, 1 truck is getting you 10 to 15,000 net, right? Why not get 10? Why not sit down and strategize with you to financially how to get to that point? All right, Harmon, I just want to interject that real quick.
Yes. No, I appreciate that because, right, the most important thing is why couldn't you be Mayflower? Why can't you be Penske? Why can't you be Budget?
Why not?
You know, a lot of times we limit our own selves thinking that we can't get, or we don't have the connections or the strategies, right? Jeff Bezos is not signing for anything. The CEO of Delta and Coca-Cola bottling companies are not signing for anything. They have themselves set up credibly, just like we spoke a little earlier, and they're thinking big, right? They have great ideas. We just now have to be able to do what? Your vision, your passion, marry it with finances, right? Capital, startup capital, business money. Now the opportunities are endless. If you do well with that first loan that you get from that first lender that we all fall in love with, right? To this day, I still have my Citibank credit card from that college campus that they say, hey, fill out the application, we'll give you a pizza box. And I think I paid for that pizza box thousands of dollars for that pizza box because I was hungry, I'm a college student, and I'm broke, right? But we fall in love with our first lender, and that's okay. The most important thing is here, if you have a passion, you have a vision, you want to take your trucking business to the next level, there's the opportunity that you can do that. And you know what? It's all about strategizing and scaling your business to the next level. Never stop, growing. That's the most important thing in business. But when it comes down to business capital, you have 10 grand laying around, coming in on a monthly basis, 20,000 coming on a monthly basis. Hiram, I don't have that 680. Hiram, I don't have a 600. I don't have even 550, but I got good revenue. Now the answer is I have a lender for you. We have lenders that we can assist you and say, listen, we'll give you an opportunity. I see that you're making revenue. I see that maybe your credit, you're not leaving too much at the end of the month, because you're struggling a little bit. I have banks that still have passion for business owners like yourself, especially in your industry. You might walk out and only have $1,000 or $2,000 net at the end of the month. Well, how are you going to be able to add 10 trucks so that 1,000 or 2,000 becomes 10 to 20 grand more, right, in your pocket? You want to be able to have your family established. You want to leave them some sort of legacy behind, and leave them established with a really well-recognized logistic business, all right? But it doesn't stop with just OTR, refrigerated trucks, or regional runs. This is anything in logistics. If you dream it, we can do it, right? Ambulance service. We have the opportunities for you to jump on that. We have the Amazon guys that is really taking off. We got a guy approved for 3 Amazon truck sprinters. And guess what? He has 2 other drivers, and they're just making money for him, okay? So the possibilities of being able to walk in to a General Motors store and say, I need 5 trucks. Yes, here, sign my corporate resolution form. I stamp it as a president of the company. Let's move forward. Now Herman got me 10, 15 trade lines working in my favor. Plus I also have capital to be able to access $100,000, $200,000 for payroll or whatever the case may be. Okay. For those of you that are truckers that are maybe struggling a little bit right now through this whole COVID situation, we also have SBAs that we can help you and assist, and some other stuff that is our alternative. If you got declined because your SBA loan didn't go through, or you didn't have many employees in the whole equation, we have other alternative and creative methods that you can get yourself the funding that you need in order for you to grow your business. All right. So right now we secured the 680 Club. Now we got yourself the, as low as 450 beacon, as long as you're making some revenue. And then we want to talk to some of those that are not in business yet. You don't have anything established yet, right? You don't have the business name yet. You don't have your business corporate email. You don't have a lot of those things available yet. We have a personal program that if maybe you're thinking about trucking, I'm kind of trying to dabble a little bit in the trucking world, but I also like, a honey bun shop, a bakery. I have a passion for baking, or I have a tremendous passion for real estate. We have ways that we can get you going here with the use of your personal credit. As long as you've been in your job for 2 years, as long as you've been in your job for 2 years and you have a W-2 for those 2 years that you can prove, we have a lending program that can get you, if you have a nice credit card that's $3,000, we can get you 5 times, 8 times, 10 times that amount, and we can stack them up with other types of lines of credit, corporate credit cards, term loans, and put it all in a complete bundle where we can now say, okay, I didn't get you the $200,000 that you needed from one source, but I got 3 lenders that gave me 50 here, another one gave me 100 here, another one gave me 50 grand here, with low introductory promotional interest rates. And this is the stuff that I love about our program, because if I can give you $100,000 in a money in just in a brown paper bag and say, take this money, I'm gonna give you 12 months, 0% interest, you really are gonna do well that year, right? That means that you're just paying the minimum
Everybody on
balance
this call knows what to do with that.
on $100,000. You can really come out strong and build a whole empire, if you will. So the most important thing is if you have the personal credit, if you have a W-2, you've been in business W-2 for 2 years, we have an opportunity for you where you can now start your business, grow your business, and take off, and again, divorce yourself financially from the business. Yes, sir.
So for this new personal credit program, I launched it a week ago. I think it's been a week, probably 300 applications have come through. It's been a really, really good program. We're going to give you information on how to sign up for that. So right now, Hiram, if everybody's been paying attention, you got 680 credit score, got your LLC EIN. We can get you some funding with your business. If you got low credit, we got a program for you. You got some funding coming in, you got some revenue, we can get you funding. And if you don't even have those two, another third option is, hey, all right, well, you got decent personal credit. You got a $3,000 card. We can get you up to 10 times that and put that in a brown paper bag and get you started. And
Exactly.
then again, we're going to sit down with you and give you the strategy on how to build a fleet, not just to get one truck. All right. Now, with that, I interrupt you for that personal program. What's the lowest credit score you need for that personal funding program? What's the minimum?
We've seen some flexibilities as low as 600 on that program.
Okay.
They just want to see a strong 600. And what I mean by that, all right, so you have 2 credit cards, an installment loan that you've been paying on 2 years, 3 years, you've done perfect payment. Your utilization is a little bit off because, you know what, maybe last month the payment didn't record on time, and then whatever. That we'll go as low as that. And but otherwise, these banks are looking for just solid stability, credibility, right? And we can get you funded on that.
Excellent. That's great. So we have options for almost everyone on this call. Almost everyone we should be able to get you funded for. And Hiram kind of said to this, whether it's trucking or whether for something else, you could tell your friend and family, hey, I have some people that will most likely be able to help you. All right. But what else you got for us, Hiram?
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you're at the point that you've been looking at some other lenders, some lenders are entertaining some ideas and say, yeah, I maybe got you 8-9%, or I'm leasing you. I had a call the other day from a guy that's a 690 credit score, and the lender was telling him that they can get him because he doesn't have much industry experience. For most of you truckers that are out there, you need industry experience to qualify at times for the best loans, because if you're not really, 5 years in, they think that you're maybe a newbie, and your chances of paying for that collateral, that asset, may not go well. So they had him on a lease program paying 34%. Mind you, this is a 690, 34%.
Wow.
I don't know any state that if you go purchase a personal vehicle that will charge you that max. In the state of Florida, I think it's 27.99%. But at any rate, it's at 33% because what they did is they used a money factor of 1.30. So he said, oh, I got a 1.30%. I said, all right, so let's look at the contract. By the time he finished paying for that truck, which was about 40 grand, he was going to end up paying about 60 grand or something to that effect. Listen, guys,
Wow.
there's some stuff that's out there. And yes, some people say your accountant may tell you lease it because you can write off a lot of the taxes, right? And I don't need to go down the road of accounting and taxation, but it was great strategy. But again, your truck, they're gonna look at how old the truck is, how many clicks you have on your truck. They're gonna look at what if you have an ELD, if you're synchronized with the state, and they're gonna look at a lot of things before you can roll out from that dealership with a truck. Our programs are very easy. You submit your application, a finance guy will get on the phone with you. What are your needs? Okay, let's come up with a strategy and a game plan to make sure that we can get there. If I can't get you all $50,000 through one source, guess what? Let's find another source here for you that is going to give us that combination and keep you a small little payment on a monthly basis. All right. If I give you a $50,000 American Express card with a small minimum payment on it, I can guarantee you at 0%, that payment is going to be way cheaper than a 3-year lease on a 379 Peterbilt it's maybe a 2017 or whatever the case is. So it's all about scaling your business, credibility, and getting yourself the alternative and the creative lending methods that are out there that are available that a lot of people don't know about, but they're out there. These banks are in need of business. Listen, we're coming out of a little bit of a recession a little bit from some of the companies that are out there that are struggling. We want to make sure that we can empower you, give you all the necessary tools for you to make the decision, and we're here to be able to assist you in getting the loan terms that you need.
Excellent, excellent, man. That was a lot of information. You gave some more information. I didn't even know we had those programs, so that's great. So good credit, bad credit. You got some revenue. There's options for everyone. I really, really thank you, Hiram, for that information. But listen, guys, remember, this is all about mindset also. So the world is starting to open up back up slowly, right? I want everybody on this call to be in position, right? Let's put you in position. You have a plan, you have a strategy, you have the funding. Now it's time to execute. So when the world opens back up, yeah, I got several trucks. I got a couple of those that need to be moved. I have the trucks and I got the drivers. Let's get it going. And now you have the revenue to start paying on that cheap money that you just got, all right, to fund your business. Now, Hiram, I think we have a link here for anybody on the call who wants to fill out an application, right?
Yeah.
Free application. That's number one. And number two, the great thing about this program, guys, is that to get your pre-approval, we do not run your credit. It's a soft pull. We look at your credit monitoring on a soft pull, and we let you know in advance how much funding you could potentially get. So we can't make this any easier for you. So you go to any other banks, creditors, they're going to run your credit and they're going to tell you how much money you can get. But we're not going to run your credit to give you that information. So I'm going to drop this in the chat, right?
Yep.
Click on the link here. Okay. Can everybody see the? Okay, I see it. I'm gonna highlight it. Everybody can see my screen. Can you see my screen, Hiram? This is a highlight type situation?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna highlight this and I'm going to put this in the chat so that everybody can have an opportunity just to click on the link and just fill out the application. I'm gonna make it available to everybody. There, I just put it in the chat. You guys can highlight it. You guys can click on the link, fill it out. We know you came directly from the webinar, and you can. Our team will be in touch with you. There's 300 people on this call right now, so give us a couple of days to get back to you, to everybody. But we're definitely going to be calling each and every one of you. If you have any questions, we're going to go over a strategy with you on what type of funding that we can get you and what best fits your needs, because not everything is for everybody. So we want to tailor fit something that's just for you. We're not giving you anything cookie cutter. Okay, you have two drivers, you have no drivers, you just started. I just got my LLC from Herman last week. We're gonna tailor fit what we need for you. So the link is in the chat. Everybody definitely click on it, copy and paste it. We would love to be of service to you. Now, Hiram, do you have any parting words for our people that are still on the call right now?
No, we have a tremendous passion for business owners, and we love to be able to start now. And you're just starting with one truck, and I love the conversation 3 years, 5 years from now. Hey man, appreciate it. I need that. I need a fleet of 20. Hey man, can you get me $500,000? and money is like, okay, quick. Herman got me $250,000 in business credit, and we'll be able to get you another $500,000. So we're very passionate, and we just look forward to a long-term relationship, right? The relationship with that first-time lender, like I said.
Exactly. And it's not just this one time where it gets you funding and you guys are out of here. We hope this is a partnership where when you need more funding, when you need more business, when your business is growing, you know who to call because we took care of you the first time. So thank you everybody for joining the call. We didn't want to hold you too long and make everybody fall asleep on our presentation, but we gave you the high level information. Click on the link, fill out the application. It's super simple. It's not drawn out. Name, number, email. Our team will get in touch with you. We look forward to being of service to everybody that joined in the call. And I thank you so much, everybody, for continuing to support my business. I truly, truly appreciate it. Have a great and wonderful day. Hiram,
Thanks.
thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Have a good night, bro. All right,
Bye-bye.
peace, everybody.